Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen from around the world, wherever you are. Welcome to League of Tilt. This is going to go spectacularly because everybody's doing placements beginning of the season. It's going to go great. All right, well, so be it. I was about to start explaining what Sejuani does, but then a Lux walks into three people. You know what happens? She loses her flash. Sejuani is pretty good right now. She's just one of those champions that's consistently good. Sometimes her numbers are a little worse than at other times, and obviously in those cases, she's going to be less meta, have slightly a little bit less of a win percentage, but generally speaking, Sejuani is always just very reliable. She has a lot of CC, decent clear, very good hard engage, solid levels of damage, very good in skirmishes, especially with melee champions because of the passive on her E, which, by the way, you should definitely start. But I started W there to try to get the slow on the Lux to knock her into Vygar's cage, but Lux just flashed, so I don't know if that was worth. You do clear much more quickly on single target camps if you've got your E up, because E applies stacks of your passive, Winter's Frost. So while we're just clearing the jungle, I'll just go through Sejuani's kit very quickly. Sejuani passive is this thing, Fury of the North. Essentially, it makes it so that it's very hard for her to be bursted down or to take a significant amount of burst damage up front whenever her passive's up, because she's just she gains flat armor and magic resist increase plus percentage armor and MR increase. So you take significantly reduced damage. You also can't be slowed while your passive's up. You lose your passive by taking damage or getting CC'd from minions, monsters, you name it. Her Q is a dash. It just goes through walls and it will stop when it hits a champion. It doesn't stop on hitting anything else. It'll go straight through minions. It'll knock up whatever it hits, minions, monsters, otherwise. Her W, this is the swing that we've been using. It has two parts. The first part comes out as a swing in front, and then the second part sort of a straight line swing. Landing Sejuani's W is sort of both parts of her W is one of the most important skills when learning this champion, because she is super reliant on getting her passive stacks, which you can get from your E by auto-attacking somebody 4 times, or having melee champions near you that are auto-attacking, or by hitting your W. Both stacks of your W both parts of your W apply a stack. So this game in particular, we're going to be looking, I think, at ganking. Top is going to be hard. We don't really have a lot of CC. We have a Tryndamere. He has a slow, but it's not a lot of CC. We see the Echo. We see he has 24 CS. And he's not a level up on us because we did a full clear. So trigger Aftershock there. I don't know if we can win this now because he'll have his stun up, but yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe if I'd committed earlier or committed harder, might have been able to win, or maybe if I'd taken some of his burst into the Aftershock. But I was missing a good amount of HP and he was practically full health, so that was just a bad fight for us to take. I think when we saw that he was going to be there, we should have just backed up. So that's just misjudgment. It'll cost us a flash, cost us a crab. But if Vygar gets... okay, well, so basically he traded his flash. Took a bunch of damage because Yone is fair and balanced champion. So speaking of Yone, mid lane is probably going to be our best bet because Yone isn't really mobile. All his mobility is very temporary. He doesn't really move around. Like when he uses his E, he eventually has to come back to it, and Vygar has CC. Bot lane, Lux is very annoying. Even if you're charging, you will get rooted in the middle of your charge, so that's just very unfortunate. And we don't really, again, have hard CC. We have Lulu Polymorph, but that's not saying much. Sejuani's clear, as you can see. His first clear can be a little rough, but generally speaking, after your first clear. By the way, when I say rough, I mean if he stays, he's dead. Okay, he's dead. I'm just gonna stay here. Still come back. There we go. So that's the thing I was saying about Yone not having mobility. Yone always just has to come back to the spot that he starts from. So if we just stick around, we can just get a kill. So Kai'Sa's requesting a gank down bot side, which again, I don't want to do because of the reasons I mentioned earlier. It looks like they're just like fighting, farming. It's like both lanes are posturing aggressively. You can see that looking at your mini map. It does look like they're getting pushed in, but I am pathing upwards, so I'm not going to be able to gank them right now. Maybe I could have pathed downwards after the kill on Yone, but all of my camps are up, and it's very important to make sure you don't fall behind on EXP. Like, jungle EXP is so bad, you need to make sure that you're not necessarily power farming, but you're clearing in sequence, that while doing other stuff, you're still just taking care of your chores, making sure you're not falling behind on EXP. That's just like the worst feeling in the world. Okay, your W does break your passive stack, so once the thing hits 4 stacks, you can either auto attack it or hit it with your W. Both work fine. A basic Sejuani combo, so it's like Q, auto attack, W, hit both parts, auto attack, again, that applies all 4 stacks. Yone is roaming bot, Veigar's been pinging for a while, but Echo's red buff is up. That's interesting. So he left his red buff up to go gank down, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier with why jungle clearing is so important. Like, okay, so maybe there was a chance there that our bot lane could have died, right? And that would have been unfortunate. But they didn't die. In fact, they only had to blow summoners. So as a result, now I get this red buff and I get to come up on behind this Shen and actually execute a successful gank. That was very unfortunate. Tryndamere needed to follow harder, better, I don't know. Okay, Echo looks like he's pathing downwards. He's realized that my stuff is up, so he's just gonna go grab that. That's fine. We'll trade sides of the map now. Like, if that gank had succeeded, again, obviously it would have been great, but it didn't, no biggie. Because now we can just path into Rift Herald. So this, when you split the map like this, you've got to understand what you're trying to do, what a jungler is trying to do. This isn't just, oh, I'll invade, I'll steal stuff. It's not that straightforward. You have to figure out how you can advance your game plan. So Echo might come up from behind the Kruk camp, but I know for sure that even if he has taken my red, it's going to take him some time to come back up here. And even if he does come back up here, he should know by now that all his camps are going to be missing. So I'm fully expecting that he's just going to path downwards again to try and get priority on Drake, which is completely fine. Like, any Drake, literally any dragon, is 100% worth trading for Rift Herald, because early on in the game, Rift Herald just gives so much gold. You can just cash it in for so much pressure, especially when you have a so we just traded objectives. I'm not gonna ult here. There's no point. Shen is just gonna like walk away. And I took a couple of minions. That's generally fine. You're less interested in taking. What are you doing? Okay, just gonna. Okay, so. Yeah, he was. He definitely got a little too big for his britches. We're just going to take one more plate and then we're going to dip on out of here. We have a lot of gold. We shouldn't stay on the map like this when you've got so much gold, because then obviously you're weaker than enemies who've had a chance to go back and spend the gold. Like Echo presumably went back and spent his billions of gold after all. Yone is just perma running it down. I think he doesn't know how to play around Veigar. That does happen. Like, you definitely have people who don't understand how to play against Veigar's cage, and then they're just like melee fighters trying to get into range and they just get destroyed by the massive range of the. Unfortunately, the next Scuttle Crab is spawning bot side, so I won't have access to that. If it was spawning top side, I could have just grabbed it. But Echo looks like, yeah, he's already going to be pathing downwards to it. He will have taken our red buff, but he won't have taken our blue buff. So we need to make sure he doesn't actually have the opportunity to take our blue buff. So we're just going to clear our camps here. I think Veigar will be fine. If Veigar was lower, if Echo went harder, I would totally go upwards for that. But I don't know what Kai'Sa is doing in River, but that can't be good for business. I feel like just asking to get collapsed on. And as I was saying, if Veigar was lower or if they committed harder for that, there's a chance I would have maybe come up to help Veigar. Okay, so it's taken my Raptors. I'm just gonna back. I can't make it here in time. Okay. Hang on. Might have to eat my words here. Okay, yeah, flash for flash. Like, if the second part of my W lands there, he's slowed, and then if he's slowed, I can just Q into him. And again, if I Q into him, then he's knocked up, and then we can just chain CC him off of the stun on our E after the knock up, and then of course starts with the stun. Lula's polymorph would be coming up again. So this all makes a good amount of sense. I'm just actually going to rush straight downwards here. I know I said I wanted to back, but like we've just been permanently fighting everywhere. Okay, it looks like they're backing off. It's because they have a pink here. And looks like they were paying attention to the river. Like a lot of the time, they'll have pinks or they'll have like river vision thanks to Scuttle, and they just won't see you coming. They won't pay attention. So it looks like we're a slight CS lead on the Echo, but we are a kill behind. We have an assist where Echo has kills, and that's completely fine. Like Sejuani doesn't really need a lot of gold to function. You have to keep up in gold, but she doesn't need like a lot of gold. She just needs enough that she has items, that she doesn't fall behind. Gotta make sure she's tanky, right? Last time we went to check on our chickens, they weren't there, but now they're there, so that tells us that they will have spawned. So I'm just going to take these chickens and finally recall 3k gold. This is what they call an extended sequence. This isn't always a good idea, but okay. Looks like he's yeah. I might be dead here, but as long as Veigar gets a kill, this is fine. Okay. What am I watching? Plan! Calc. We're gonna get Murktras. Only real problem we have is with CC and with Echo, potentially. So getting magic resist here makes a lot more sense than getting a lot of armor, and Sunfire also gives us armor. Another thing to remember is in almost every game in League, until they fix the healing problem, there's going to be a champion whose healing you need to cut down on. Like, I know Yone is a meme at the moment because he's 1 in 6, classic win shitter. Bayrav. Your terminology is now the official terminology of all League players everywhere. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. But eventually, Shield Bow is going to be a thing, and Echo's ult is actually a heal. So you do need to cut down on those, and then Shen will have a significant amount of health regen, and then he'll be healing off of Grasp. And the ADC generally has some amount of lifesteal, so all of these are good reasons. Feels ADC, man. Feels fucking ADC. All right. Yone, come at me. He's not about it. Okay, so Trent has a good lead. We got him that. The tart plate lead, like part of the reason okay. Yeah. Just making sure that he'll have to not stay on the map. Veigar's about to be here, but I think he's deciding to go top. That makes sense. I can't really hold by myself. My stacks fell. Oh! If I had hit that ulti, I would have. Oh no! His ult animation just went off a little too early. That's so unfortunate. See, mistakes like that can cost games because now he gets to stay on the map again, and I don't get anything for my ulti, and now I can't fight anybody for another minute. Those are costly. That should not have happened. Also, see what I mean by healing? Like, he just has a Vamp Scepter. Like, that is all he has. And that's still somehow good enough to let him just heal that. Very interesting. I really wish I had ulti for this fight. They should not be doing this, by the way. Like, even if they had Echo here, which they, like... Oh, okay, actually, never mind, they do. So, kill first. Ooh. I don't think I'm actually going to make it here. MF ulti. Come on, Veigar! Alright, we get a kill here. Yes, saying Echo wasn't here, which is true because he was doing Drake. Okay, Veigar got another kill. Trinda is going places, but they're going to take the break now. That's very sad. That shouldn't have happened. I feel like if we just all play, if we're all on the same wavelength, now they get Herald, now they get Drake. Both Drakes in a position where it accelerates them to soul. It's just all unfortunate. All right, we're going to get Bramble Vest. Need the healing reduction. Help us against MF, Yone, even to some extent Echo, because he auto attacks, and then Shen. We will not be getting the full Thornmail just yet. I really like getting early Warmogs in Sejuani. A lot of Sejuani's damage scales off of her max HP, so Sunfire Aegis, Immolate Burn scales off of max HP. Her W damage, the second part of it scales off of her max HP. The E and the freeze max HP thing, that scales off of both. Oh. Okay. See, Echo probably thought, there we go. That's fine. We'll definitely get somebody here. So something I haven't actually gotten the opportunity to show off yet. Oh, nice. All right. So the reason I switched targets again and went for the Echo, even though like we were fighting the Shen, is because the Echo was like Shen had already unloaded most of his burst, and he was just going to be auto attacking with Aegis, which does do damage, but not as much as Echo full burst. So Lulu instantly polymorphed the Echo, which was amazing on her part, and then. If I follow up there with CC right away, and because my Sunfire Aegis was fully stacked, that does really well. Tryndamere is tilted because he got killed while split pushing, classic Tryndamere stuff. My husband is just so bad at this sort of thing. He's just such a lout. I would never have married him. Never. Lulu? 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 Look! Look! God damn it, Lulu. Alright. Alright. Oh. Echo. We don't like that. Alright, doesn't look like they're chasing. That. Bad decisions. Just a parade of bad. Also, I don't think I can walk into my jungle here, because if I do, chance Echo might collapse and I don't really have anybody and I can't really fight here, so we are just sad. Ooh. Okay. Yone. You do a lot of max HP damage, so it's pretty decent. You can definitely burst him. Like, I was waiting for him to use his W because the W shield is like the only thing that could really get me here. We can totally get the Echo if he just keeps coming here because, yeah, I have a massive amount of CC, and Trinda has ulti, so there's no real risk there. We do have a shutdown because we haven't been dying and we've been participating in a lot of kills and been keeping our farm up. We've been counter jungling, taking minions where nobody else will go. We could complete our Thornmail right now. So the only reason I'm buying this now, even though I said I wouldn't, is because you can get a complete item. And completing items just generally gives you very strong passive. In particular, in this case, you now have the option to just, you don't need to auto attack them. You can just like hit them, and that'll. Shen should be dead here, right? He doesn't have a tower. Yeah, he's probably dead. Okay. Shut down. The fuck. Okay. Thornmail also now redirects damage based on the armor I have, which is a massive damage boost to the Thornmail itself. Thornmail is exceptional on champions that have taunts because they can get you to auto attack them. Also, now at this stage of the game, Scuttle is super important. All right. All right, got him. They were all there and we weren't. At least we got Scuttle. So I traded 1 for 1. I got my gold, but they got shutdown gold. And now they're probably going to get Dragon, but we did get Scuttle. So maybe they can make a steal happen. Like, you really need to group for objectives. One of the saddest things about playing a tank jungler / not a skirmisher is that you can't just run at people by yourself. Also, Kindle Gem is almost always better than Giant's Belt because the CDR is just like, it's so good. Your alt faster, your W stacks, everything, your dashes, it's just better in general. I should be careful. I don't have Veigar K. Oh no, Veigar's taunted. But Luxmith Snare, they just need to survive. That's all they need to do with life. Kaisa, please. I can't get there fast enough, but I think we'll be okay. Fucking Yone, man. Just wanted whatever, and he's still just such a problem. No! Oh, okay, I saved him there. Got him. All right, picture perfect. And now we can get the free dragon of all time. All right, so, whew, what a fight. It's just so split, but Infernal map coming in huge for us because the Infernal map made it so that I had free access to enemies on both sides of the range. Not even getting an assist for that. Sadness. It's okay. Only the person that gets the last hit on a dragon gets the 25 gold anyways. It's more about the fact that we have the dragon and that they don't have 3 drakes and so they don't soul point us. Like, you can give up early drakes, but the preferred way to split it is like 1-1 because that way, with a 1-1 split between dragons, even if they get the next dragon, then you don't have to worry about them getting soul. It puts a lot of pressure to give them 3 dragons, and then of course, when they have 2 dragons, every dragon is the third. Every dragon after that is the third dragon, so you just have to like start fighting for every drake. Because if by any I didn't think Echo was gonna go in there. I don't know why you didn't really need. If we lose some Lulu ulti, hell of a drug. Alright, I've done my job. Winter is not necessary. There are few things in life more demoralizing than a Veigar ulti when the Veigar and... Stop. Get some help. I didn't walk in there because I didn't want to take MF ulti to the face. It's just like asking for MF ulti to the face. Because the second part of your W does like a lot more damage than the first part of your W. I don't like this because Echo's here. Yeah, like if Echo isn't there, I go in and I kill both. Like, MF is strong, but she's going to take a long time to kill me. And she's not going to be able to just like... Hang on. Shen. Alright. Alright. See? Slow. Fine. Alright. Baited them long enough. And this is why I love Warmogs, by the way, because if you have a Warmogs, then I would just be healing up this entire time. I think Tryndamere and I definitely kill them all if they like come anywhere near us. Yona's back though. But Tryndamere's on the side. Echo's over there. But our team's here as well. Oh! Third stack of Askew. Sad. Alright, that's not going to do anything to me. I would like to go back and spend my gold, but I think it would be a really good buy if I could just get my Warmogs. So a single kill there would have done wonders because it would have just given me so much strength. That's okay. I'll just firm up a little and then go get my Warmogs, and then I can just permanently be on the map. Because I can regenerate my mana if we're fighting just in the jungle. Whatever they're doing there, I don't know about it. I don't want to know about it. I don't care. I have a red buff. It will start healing me up, so I can potentially hold this wave if Fiona decides to push. Tryndamere needs to be very careful there because I'm pretty sure they're all going to go for him. Yeah, okay, good. He's backing off. Like, one of the things, one of the most important lessons you have to learn as a split pusher is how far you can push based on the state of the map. Any pushing is pressure, for sure. So pushing is good, but you have to know where to push, because if Trinda just kept pushing there and then they just like killed him because he was too far up, then that would have been a disaster, because then we would have been a man down for the Baron fight. This, I don't know what they're doing, but Echo's backing, I'm backing. This is not good. Okay, so now we have our Warmogs firmed, 3 camps and 2 minion waves, and also this continues to create bot side pressure. I don't know what they're doing over there, because they're not going to start Baron. So, and we saw all of them here in mid, so this is just ARAM. Alright, Lux outplayed herself. Yeah, okay, we're just going to chase them to the end of the world. Perfect. Alright. The reason I really just gave up on commentary there is because there wasn't, like, they just kind of gave up on life. We should 100% be baroning. Also, if you speak full sentences with good grammar, almost nobody's ever going to pay attention to you. Just like, don't do that. Also, I'm not buying enough control words. I should definitely be purchasing more control words, but I've been a walking, talking, living ward, and we've just made sure that they can't take objectives after the loss of the Herald. So, like, the words really haven't been necessary. Okay. I don't need to smite this. I would, but I don't need to. And the reason I don't need to smite this is because they don't really have any long-range abilities that can snipe us. Okay, Lux. Bro, don't. Seriously. It's a lot of HP I have access to. And then after a lot of... Guys... Just wasting so much time. Like, I could be farming during this time, but I have a key item, and more gold right away isn't going to take me anywhere. So I'm not gonna ult that because that's an MF, and because I don't know where everybody else is. Like, god damn it, Luxie. And I also don't want to fall back into my jungle right now, because what I want to make sure is we keep pushing, and I'll farm on the way back. She keeps doing this, but see, Warmogs? I know that Fimbulwinter is all the rage these days, and it actually is really nicely synergistic with Sedge. She has so many... Lulu honestly needs to get my honor, because she exists, you know? Good enough. All right. They killed this one. Hi guys. Actually. See, like, this is the nice thing about playing a tank, because you can just be such a good distraction. Like, they were on me that entire time, and I knew I was tanky enough to die, and I had my Q and I had my ult and everything. So I just keep them on me while my team just uses the Baron buff to... like being chased, like Veigar has done, the Lulus. Man. Oh! I trolled, actually. Why didn't I ult? I thought we had them. This is what happens when you get cocky. I 100% should have ulted either Echo or should have ulted MF. Both would have been fine. And I was killing the minions here. And I let the wave go through, so now Yone gets to push. This is 15 kinds of terrible. You have Baron buff. Recall with enhance. Oh, Echo didn't have ulti from last fight, but Kai'Sa did. I don't think he's going to win against MF, though. MF's love tap is a hell of a drug. All right. Clearly, what we need is a Gargoyle Stoneplate. Like, this game, all I want to do with my life is survive infinitely. May the better split pusher win. I love the addition of objective bounties into the game. I think it is an amazing addition. Forces people to pay attention to towers. and not just like run around chasing kills. Trindamir's kill participation is quite low, but that's just because he's been creating so much pressure on the side lanes. He needs to do that for bot lane now. I will give him the red buff. I have a Warmogs that don't need the regen. I have enough slows in my kit to where extra slow from the red buff isn't as relevant because I'm not going to be dueling people, so the burn damage doesn't matter as much. More than enough damage for my Sunfire Aegis. I do hope they'll let me have that though. Alright, good. See, if you're nice to your teammates, generally speaking, and by being nice, I mean if you stroke their egos and you help them get fed and don't take their kills and don't take their CS, they're generally going to be happy with you. Alright. Alright. Oh, I thought Lux was going to keep walking forward. Highly interesting heal. NGL. Alright. I just needed to make sure that these guys couldn't get to themselves. Like, I didn't think I could actually 1v3, so I'm just like cutting my losses and backing off. Shen is making interesting life choices on the side. Again, all I have to do is just not die and make sure that they're not getting to my team. As long as I can do that, good enough. Alright, Trinda's going ham right now, by the way, presumably because he has ulti, and my Warmogs is healing me up, so I just need to, like, walk at them, because, see, MF can't stay. I didn't do anything there, but MF cannot stand near me, because I will murder her and her entire family. Knock her out of her ult, come back. Aftershock, they don't have enough CC to keep me under tower. Echo's dead here. Excellent. Alright, goodbye, Misfortune. Walked up a little. Yeah, see, that's what she needed to be afraid of the entire time. That's what she was. So there you go. A really good. Okay. And that, I think, was a pretty good Sejuani game. Showed off her strengths, showed off how to keep objective control, ganking thought processes. Just gotta be aware of what's going on the map, where you can turn weakness into strength. Where you can catch out enemy junglers, knowing which fights to take and which not to take, using your abilities. Like, I think 2 of my 4 deaths are unnecessary. Like, the difference between a low tier and high tier gameplay is really just this application of the things that more or less everybody understands and is aware of from having consumed League content and played League. Yay, an S. Did we earn it? Who earned it? It doesn't say. Alright, Rita. Iron 1. Alright, we're going to pretend that didn't happen. How the fuck did I have more gold than Tryndamere? Split pushing the entire is more CS than me. Same amount of kills. The fuck? Okay. Let's look at graphs. See, yeah, Sej does decent damage. You can do more damage if you build Demonic Embrace. I don't really support building any other AP items on her. Like, you can, but as you can see, clearly, she's just very good at being a disruptor and a frontline engager, and AP is not a good part of that plan. If you're really far ahead or you're looking for a single last item and you don't really need to be concerned about a specific kind of damage or a specific damage effect like Randuin's, then it's completely okay. You can just go ahead and, get a Demonic Embrace earlier or later, but it's not as good on her as it is on Amumu, because Amumu's tiers permanently applying Embrace. So this damage dealt, it's up there with Yone and Lux, which is decent. You just need to make sure but the real metrics are really, it's hard to judge. It's crowd control score, it's how much damage you tanked right there. How much damage you did to objectives. Like, we were there for a lot of objective fights. Kai'Sa obviously melts stuff like Baron and Drake's, so she has high objective damage because of her passive damage, so that's pretty good. We expect no damage to turrets. We're not really a split pusher. I actually thought Trinda would have a lot more than he did. Veigar's makes sense because you know the turret damage does scale with AP. Kai'Sa, I guess, just demolished it with her attack speed every now and then. So yeah, there you have it, a really good Sejuani game, showcasing the thought processes that go into taking over. Hopefully you guys found this informative, found this fun. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Until the next time.